How did you assimilate the entire success that came your way and the sort of criticism that was coming your way as well?
I didn't know at the time how to, whether to take in the fact that this was a career-changing moment for me. One side which was questioning a lot of important things about the film as well.
Has it impacted your choices and the way you look at scripts and are there moments when you feel कि that क्या इसको tweak कर सकते हैं थोड़ा सा?
think
आजकल तो
you
किसी भी चीज के
definitely
ऊपर controversy हो सकती है.
That's why when I say let my work speak, right after Kabir Singh there was a Guilty. There's a Naina today.
When you have these speculations about your personal life, how do you handle that?
I try and not put too much focus and emphasis on that.
दिल अगर हारना है तो फिल्मों में हारना अच्छा ज़्यादा है.
Hi, this is Kiara Advani and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
राइट ना एक चीज़ मैं आपसे बहुत टाइम से मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रहा था, मैं आज पूछ ही लेता हूँ आपसे ना. आपका एक बहुत ही यूनिक आपका एक एक्सपीरियंस आपका रहा है कि दैट यू हैड वन ऑफ योर बिगेस्ट फिल्म इन कबीर सिंह. नाउ दैट फिल्म वाज स्केलिंग हाइट्स ऑफ सक्सेस दैट आई थिंक नो वन हैज़ एवर सीन मे बी बिफोर. म्यूजिक की इस लेवल की पॉपुलैरिटी की दैट आई थिंक अनबिलीवेबल इन मोर वेज देन वन. बट एट द सेम टाइम कहीं ना कहीं वो एक बहुत ही एक श्रिल सा एक क्रिटिसिज्म भी था, चाहे वो शाहिद के किरदार के लिए हो चाहे वो आपके किरदार के लिए भी हो. वो आपका कैसा आपका एक्सपीरियंस रहा? हाउ डिड यू असिमुलेट द एंटायर सक्सेस दैट केम योर वे एंड द सॉर्ट ऑफ criticism that was coming your way as well?
I didn't know at the time how to, whether to take in the fact that this was a career-changing moment for me, because there was a lot of love coming in right after the film released. But there was that one side which was questioning a lot of important things about the film as well. And at that point, it was so overwhelming. I didn't know whether I should enjoy this moment and look at it like this is the successful moment of my career, or whether to sit and indulge in those other conversations as well. And it was constantly being asked me. The fact that you're asking me today, it's been like I've had this as a constant ever since the film released. I don't think I fully
I'm just saying about the overall experience.
Yeah.
Overall experience.
I'm not
saying about anything specific.
I feel personally, I don't feel I've enjoyed any film success. Like when you talk about commercial success, I don't feel I've allowed it to ever sink in. As for the other side of it, so this is how my outlook has been. I feel on one hand it's great that it sparked a conversation. On the other hand, it's just different perspectives. I mean, firstly, every film is going to be subjective. You're not going to have every single person enjoy the film the way you might enjoy it. So there were different opinions on the film. My opinion has always been very clear, and I mean, naturally, I would side by the film. That's why I did the film, because I had full faith and belief in the creative aspect of the story and the characterization that we were doing and that we were portraying. I feel for me, deep down, it's a love story, and it's a love story. And the thing is about love is that that's the only thing that will allow you to forgive certain behaviors in life. And the thing with relationships it's so complex. It's very easy as a third person for me, even for me as a third person, if I'm hearing about a relationship and I hear that someone has cheated on someone, or someone has been who has not been respectful of the other person, has slapped someone, all of that, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Get out of this relationship. But it's very easy for me to say that because I'm not in the relationship. But for two people in that relationship, it's another complication altogether. And with Kabir Singh and with Preeti, I felt that they went through the beats of failure in their relationship. Her leaving him, planning to raise that child on her own, leaving her father's house. After that slap and that interval scene, which was blown out of proportion, she leaves the man. You don't see that. You forget about that. The fact that she comes back at the end, when he comes back to her, is when there was a section who wanted that, she shouldn't have taken it back.
Correct.
But then I think if we went that route, I mean, it's Sandeep Banga, it's his story and that's his outlook. And I do feel personally that that's what made it all heart at the end. That moment between these two when they're confronting each other and she tells him that, you up basically, sorry for my language. But that's when, and then eventually the way she she can't. I mean, the end of the day, this is the love of her life who's in front of her, and she gives in. I mean, that's what love does, I guess. So it's very complicated, it's very complex to really make right and wrong of a relationship like that. It is between two people, and I think that's what people who went into the film, I think that's what they picked on, the love story and the purity of the love story. Yes, they were not perfect people, they were not idealistic people, and more importantly, I think he did see a downfall, and life will be hard on you, and that's what he saw after that. That whole second half is his complete downfall. He's not living the best life after all the shit he's done and put her through. So I did feel, for me, it justified everything in the film. But when you pick a character and take it out of, take a scene out of, and
Context.
blow it out of proportion, then you're just talking about that scene. You're not seeing the film in totality. And it's a film. We're not trying to, how do I put it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a movie, and it's not, it's a story, and I looked at it like that. I think people made them to be almost like lifelike, and like this is real, and this is we're not trying to say this is okay or this is not okay. That was not the point we were making with that film anyway. So then I moved on from that.
But considering the sort of intense, I think, involvement that you've seen,
Yeah.
Has it impacted your choices and the way you look at scripts, and are there moments when you feel कि that क्या इसको tweak कर सकते हैं थोड़ा सा?
think
आजकल तो
you
किसी भी चीज
definitely
के ऊपर controversy हो सकती है, and किसी भी तरीके की controversy हो सकती है.
Yeah, true. I feel I have evolved as a person and as an actor, and evolved even in my choices. I mean, today the way I think, it will show in the choices that I make. It will. It's a natural progression of life. It's a natural progression for me as a person also. So, I think that's why when I say let my work speak, right after Kabir Singh there was a Guilty. There's a Naina today in Jug Jug Jio. So I feel there will be all kinds of characters. But that doesn't mean I won't play a grey-shaded character. That doesn't mean I won't want to play an imperfect character. Yes, sometimes I would hope it would be looked at in the context to the film. But as an actor, sometimes it's very challenging. In fact, if you ask me, my toughest role was that role. It's difficult for an outside person to probably understand that, but it was my toughest role till date, and I would hope to push the boundaries further, but it definitely was a very challenging role for me.
Many nuances, there's no doubt about that. There's a lot of nuances, and the graph and the curve is very interesting as well. Okay, now मैंने आपको जैसे मैंने आपसे जिक्र किया कि पहली फिल्म से मैं आपको जानता हूँ. Now, in your personal space, you're this extremely reserved person. You don't even rapid fires में भी आप बहुत बार actors and actresses they get carried away, and they end up swooning and using stuff about other actors and actresses. But you're extremely guarded in whatever you say in terms. You're fun. You have a fun element. लेकिन आपका एक अलग definition है fun element का. So in that context, when you have these speculations about your personal life, how do you handle that? Because I don't think for a person like you, it must be tough to handle the speculations that tend to happen.
I try and not put too much focus and emphasis on that, because it's very special. It's something I want to protect, and I want to keep that way. And like you said in the beginning, I want my work to speak. I mean, that's my focus, and that's what I want the audience to know me through. I think it's incredible that we get to do, I get to connect to people through characters, and they know me through these characters. That's why it's very, very special, this bond that I think as an actor and as the audience we share. That the ability to just touch someone through a certain emotion, through laughter, through just like a fuzzy, warm feeling where they feel like they know you, they connect with you on screen. Maybe a character gives you hope, it gives you a perspective. I feel it's a very unique equation. And that's how people who watch me or know me, that's how they associate me, that's what they associate me with. And I would want them to have that as the context to the equation that I share. I don't want to be known for anything other than my work.
All right. मतलब अगर दिल अगर हारना है तो फिल्मों में हारना अच्छा ज़्यादा है. That is something which should be the case. Okay, now I think you've had some pretty big songs. अगर हम सिर्फ जुग जुग जियो की बात करें तो I think जो रंगी सारी है या फिर नच पंजाब है, I think आज से 10 साल के बाद में 15 साल के बाद में there will be instances when you will travel, say for example, to New York, and people will want you to, you know, give them a perspective on these songs. And that's how I think the pop culture is, which we discussed in the interview, and it's so fascinating. Do you approach your songs from that perspective? You've had the experience of Kabir Singh, for example. Now you've had the example of Bhul Bhulaiya as well, and this one too, Jug Jug You as well. क्या आप देखते हैं उस नज़र से कि that how these songs they are going to एक तरीके से पहचान बनेंगे आपकी आगे चल
100%. I think songs are a big. It's the USP of Hindi films. I feel just our songs, the way they connect with the audience, and then you know that. So one thing that it has longevity, right? You'll watch the film, you watch it on TV, you'll watch it probably on OTT after. But songs are just they're eternal, and I think I'm very lucky. Kabir Singh was the first album I got where I think all the songs did well. Even Shershah, for that matter, I think Ranjha and Rata Lambya again really hit it out. It was like on the top two for almost months and months and months. Bhul Bhulaiya has been ruling the charts as well, and now with Jug Jug Jio, I mean that Nach Punjaban everywhere we go. I remember the other day someone randomly, a fan was like, "Can we make a reel?" And I was like, "Oh my God, we're still doing this! It's amazing! It's amazing that we you know that we have another, like, I mean, because especially in India, it's a celebration. We're always looking for any excuse to celebrate, and you need music for that at that point. And whether it's weddings, I mean, even now when I go for my friends' weddings or cousins, and they're dancing to the songs, and they happen to be my songs, whether it's been the recent ones or then even from the ones maybe a year, 2 years ago, it definitely makes me happy to see that they're performing to my songs, or we're all dancing on my songs, or of course when all the shows come up, it's fun. So songs are a big part of our films.
Absolutely. In fact, Assis Kaur was in our office recently.
Yeah.
And she sang Rata Lambya for us and all that. And I think it's a fabulous song. I think beautiful song.
And she's got a beautiful voice.
She's got a beautiful voice, absolutely.
Hi, this is Kiara Advani, and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.